So this might be kind of cool, interesting. I'm going to go through my personal history from the standpoint of the two types of breath, which is dreaming and waking, basically. If you're into Carlos Castaneda's stuff, is it Nagwal or is it Nahwa? Does anybody know? I used to really like his stuff. I've noticed so many, there's something about Castaneda's stuff. Everyone I know who's really interesting, really liked his stuff. There's something about it. You could say it's entirely bullshit. You could say it's entirely bullshit and it's just some stuff that he came up with on acid. But from an artistic perspective, it's still this insane work of art. It's an absurd literary piece in terms of what it does to people's minds. Right? Let's say it's complete made up fantasy. There's something about it to where you go, this is real. This is the best description of reality I've ever heard of. Lots of people think that. That's why I started a cult. You could, even if it's disprove it, but you say something that has that type of effect on people. Right? People want to disprove gurus and teachers and people that make a following. Right? You want to disprove and be whatever, it wasn't true, just a bunch of people believed in a bunch of nonsense. It's okay, well then just as an artist, right? Let's say as an artist, you emanate words, you write sentences that has that sort of effect on people, right? You write Harry Potter, you write the Bible. People want to disprove these things, and it's almost forget right or wrong. If you dig into perceptual theory and consciousness and philosophy and all that stuff, the entire field of historical literary criticism is just insane. It's very low tier, low IQ thinking. It's it doesn't even matter. And so then what you're more concerned with is this noise has this meaning effect on these people because of this language grid, this history that spans everything from culture to your DNA. And so sometimes these word mouth vibration noises have the effect of Carlos Castaneda's books, or they have the effect of the Bible, or they have the effect of the Bhagavad Gita. And just it causes this tremendous reaction, this tremendous upswelling, this truth response in people. And that attraction to it is what is the basis of, cults, right? All cults are people that have this upwelling of truth towards an event, towards a person, towards a medium. People go, this person is saying the truth better than I've ever heard it before, and then there's this instinctive draw towards it. That's just interesting. Or an instinctive, to create something like Star Wars. People find something about Star Wars that's better than their own life. Right? Castaneda wrote books that it's somehow better than your own life, but it's almost it was accessible. It painted this picture that was whatever, but it was accessible. There was the exercises, the pathway, it was there. You could reach it. I guess it's the distillation of what? Is soccer the same thing, right? You play and you look, everyone's drawn to soccer. That's drawn, what is this? We're passing this thing back and forth with this certain rule set, right? That's what language is. Language is we're passing something back and forth according to a certain rule set, and it draws crowds like soccer does, or it draws crowds like basketball. Football, these interactions with these rules, it all of a sudden, like, people are magnetically attracted to it. Harry Potter, Christianity, castaneda, and it's like, what, like, let's look at that. Forget if anything's true or false, right? Things either have a resonant effect or they don't. Like, that's what's actually interesting, is what noises cause the emotional centers in the body to resonate. How can I, what word vibration combination do I have to say to have an influence on your brain or on your heart or on your, like, stomach? Imagine if I say words that cause you to have the discipline to lose weight. Imagine if I was able to say words that, like, suddenly inspired you. Oh, I understand why I should fast, and I'm motivated to do it. Or I understand this, and I'm motivated to do that. Those words are interesting. Or what are the words of fiction, right? Like, what are the words of fiction? What's the rush in writing? Like, let's say you wanted to write Harry Potter. You're like, what are you doing there as you write? Are you observing a world? What's the goal? I want to see what this world is. And what is it of the other world that you're seeing? It's like another reality, and you're capable of seeing the generalized story of that reality. Ish. I mean, it is. It's like I'm this wave over here, and I'm looking at that wave over there, but I'm connected to it. I'm the same event. Right? I'm this wave over here. Let's say I'm going to write a theology book. I'm this wave here. God is that way over there, an idea. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to write about it. Right? So I am saying this idea of God. And then I try and copy that vibration here. Like, how do I copy? I want to copy the event, right? Like, let's say some event's happening, right? And I'm an artist. Like, the car in front of me is happening, and then I copy that to create a picture, right? So God's happening, and then if you are able to see God, then you copy what's happening, and you create a picture. Right? If somebody's speaking inspired godly word, they're looking at God and drawing a picture in real time. It's not based off an idea, but they're seeing it right now in the moment and drawing it. So I guess maybe good art is when somebody can obviously see something that's invisible to you, and then translate it into a medium you can see. Right? Like a good history book is doing this. There's these archetypical events, this drama, this story that's happening in your mind. It's happening in the stars. It's happening in the astrology. It's happening in the air. And an artist like J.K. Rowling is capable of seeing the swirling of that imagination, and then she translates it. And that the imagination swirls, and it drives our reality. And so you get these stories that seem so somehow related to life. It seems to be like the driving part of life, right? It's like we're here on life, and somebody looks down, looks deep, and actually can see the currents that are invisible in some sense. Or something in them sees it, or you learn to feel it and you relax to it, and so the invisible makes itself visible through the artist, or through the medium, or through the whatever. So I guess that's why people are going to cults. They're worshiping those gods. Like, there was some sort of god, there was once some sort of inorganic being, some sort of demon maybe, that revealed itself through castaneda, and and then you want to worship it, you want to give it attention, or some sort of being revealed themselves through XYZ yoga teacher. That's what everyone's saying. It's like the truth is revealing itself through that person who is an empty vessel, or has let go. There's the person is not getting in the way, or the person is fully expressing itself, right? Somebody goes, I'm not in the way. Like anytime anybody's doing artistic output that draws that type of attention, it's like, what is everybody looking at? So does the writing, what does it reflect? It reflects that. It reflects that which the author is purporting to look at, right? So let's take the Bible, I guess, and they go, what are the Gospels? The Gospels is somebody who is claiming to see God, to have seen God, and then they're writing about it. And so when they're seeing God, we can't just have this simplistic, dumbass explanation of God. These people understood what God was to the same degree I do, or any other, any sort of theologian, and you have God as the pleroma. It has something to do with the Platonic realm. It has something to do with the archetypes. It has something to do with consciousness. It has something to do with the field of being, the ever-present origin. So when somebody's writing the Gospels and they're like, oh, what was God? All of that is rushing into them all at the same time, right then, right there as well. In addition to what, did he pick up the glass at 4:37 p.m. at 6 AD? Did that actually happen? And it kind of had to have. But when somebody's writing something like the Gospel, these things that are so inspired that it triggers. I don't know what you would, if it doesn't trigger it in you, you could only call it psychosis. It's when somebody's truth response is triggered, and they see and they fall in love with something like God or themselves. It's the thing that's there. Somebody writes about the thing that's there that you can't see or that you forgot, and there's a right. And so what are you talking to? As an artist, what are you talking to when you write books like Castaneda's, or you write books like Scripture? Or any cult, right? Like Jim Jones, Charles Manson, what was it? What was it that, and what it was these word noises, vibrations, were in a sequence and a combination that caused this effect to people. You could call it a lie or not. To be honest, it couldn't be a lie, or it won't have that type of effect. And the dry truth doesn't have that type of effect either. A mechanical description of reality has no effect on people, and usually a total lie doesn't affect people at all. So there's this thing that pulls on people, and it's this description of something. In fiction, you could call it description of the imagination. In history, you could call it a description of the narrative or the zeitgeist, or what is it? If you're going to read a good history book, what are you trying to understand? You're trying to understand what the group mind was doing at the time. That's what's really important. It's what any individual did in any particular age is almost not important. What the group mind was doing, because it's the only way we accomplish anything is in groups. What's the only things that really influences history? It's when America moves, right? Or even if an individual influences history, it's because the individual influenced the direction and the behavior of the gods, the collective, the group organization. So it's interesting to see displays of power. Like, does Donald Trump's voice have any power? And it's like, no, America is speaking. That's the head of America. That's just America speaking. America, the entity, the body, you can be whatever, you think it's right or wrong or whatever, it's what it decided to do. Like, the countries do what the countries decide to do. That's what they're doing. They're not schizophrenic. There's a deliberate choice when the gods, like, decide. That's just what they are. It doesn't matter if you think it's because of XYZ propaganda or intelligence or stupidity or whatever. It's just that's what the god did. So it puts on Trump, and the only reason that Trump, the individual Donald Trump, the only reason that his words have any meaning is because they are coming out of America, right? It's the voice of America. And so everyone considers, like, elevates gods like they're higher or smarter or eternal, like all-knowing, and their gods are they're as stupid as humans, or they're as perfected as humans. And it's like they are all-knowing in a sense. Like, the most worthless person in society is somewhat omniscient from the standpoint of anything a cat can fathom, or like anything a dog can fathom. The dumbest person is omniscient in what it can do, what it can know, what it can accomplish, and how long it lives. The dumbest person versus, like, the smartest animal is kind of like that. But at the same time, you can have really, really degenerate people who are, in some sense, like, much dumber than a smart cat, you know, if it makes any sense. Like, so the gods are the same way. They're very elevated high, but they can be, like, dumber and stupider than a person. A person is, in a sense, more connected to reality, just like an animal is more connected to reality than a person. Like, a person's distracted with abstract crap, and it, like, pulls them around, and they ignore the animal body reality, right? And get kind of unhealthy or whatever from pursuing human things. Gods can become unhealthy the same way, and divorced from reality the same way that that humans get distracted. They're just pulled around by the godly pleasures and stuff like that, and then they make choices that are very stupid at a human level, just like we make choices that are very stupid at a biological level, to pursue things at a human level. And everything's kind of interconnected, so the gods get retarded at the same time the people do, in the same way. And so when you look at, like, America, it's Donald Trump, like, good and bad. There's a lot of good, coherent, consistent power there. But that's just the gods. The gods make the choices. So when you look around and, like, what influences everything else? How does an individual influence things? From a historical perspective, it's like the gods have to be influenced. Like, that's where Christ is interesting. Christ, the individual, brought the God of the Roman Empire to its knees. It's very much a David and Goliath kind of story. As an individual that was basically like, there's the most powerful God, the mightiest empire to ever live, you know. And that's one of the stories here swirling around in the imagination. So when you emote that or you act that way, write that down, I think it tends to resonate-ish. And then the words get power, and then it causes that. Because I get, what is that? Mind control, right? A cult or whatever. You say something that people think is so true, they'll do anything you want. And that's the whole name of the game, right? Like, what is everyone programmed to do? Like, if you want to serve God, be obedient. Don't think, let God think for you. Right? Do nothing but serve. So if somebody can emote in such a way that it triggers a response in you where you go, that's God, I'm seeing God through that person, right? Like if you can paint a picture of God that's so accurate that a lower consciousness person mistakes it for God, wow, they'll do whatever you want. Holy crap. Okay, solved it. That's good. I'm almost to work. So that's how you can separate different tiers of human consciousness or whatever. The same way that if you like a gorilla and you put up a picture or a mirror of a gorilla, it'll attack the gorilla because it doesn't know the difference, right? Or like a baby will look at a picture on a phone and of themselves, they won't know it's themselves, or it's these visual images, these visual recreations of reality confuse lower consciousness animals, right? So as a human artist, if you're able to create or express God or the truth accurately enough or multidimensionally enough, when you show that thing to less advanced people, they will worship it like God, and they'll obey it and do anything you want. So from somebody actually just experiencing God or expressing God or finding God in themselves, this is a problem and a liability of like, no, don't do that to me. But obviously if you're even having the impulse to like worship or to serve or whatever, like it's interesting. And then what you know if you have that impulse towards somebody is that they are of a higher consciousness, or they're connecting or seeing God in a deeper way than you. And you're so deluded that it's like a turtle humping a shoe, right? The guru impulse or the teacher impulse is you're a lower animal in a higher civilization that higher civilization is capable of making like shoes, and you're a dumb animal that'll try and have sex with the shoe. So that's what higher intelligence people, when they write religious books or something like that, it provokes the self-love, the God, everything is love, right? So you're provoking love, and with that love comes automatic service and devotion, which if you manipulate this, it's brainwashing or mind control. That's what mind control is creating an avatar of God, and then that causes automatic subservience and obedience from the person. Whoa, right? Whoa. And then if that's happening, you know that person is creating an idol that you're worshiping. That's useful information. There's no reason to get mad at it. People get mad when they go, oh, their idol, when their idol gets smashed. They're like, oh, I was lied to. It's like, no, that person just painted a picture of God. That person just painted a good picture. It's like, don't get mad at them. It's not your fault that like you thought it was reality. There's a lot of people that do this sort of thing. Yeah, that's what I wanted to get to. So that's cool. So that's what's going on with cults and stuff, or like good art. They're painting a picture of the thing that people love most, and the picture is like so good that the people basically like are drawn to it, doing everything from like masturbating to it to worshiping it. I'm sorry, but like I think I'm like the smartest person on YouTube, and it makes me uncomfortable. Like I'm not trying to be that. I don't want to be that. I just if there's anybody on this level, like I feel alone. Is there anybody that's like deeper or better insight than me? Can somebody like say, hey Kurt, listen to this guy, I think he's got it. I think the way he's thinking about it is better than how you're thinking about it, and here's why. Can anybody can like debate me? Would somebody debate me on this? Like debate, like who's everything I say is like the like obvious truth. Like it doesn't even. Right, so I mean everything from art and everything else has been weaponized. Any of these responses that cause the animals to respond. There's basically human farmers, and the human farmers lure everyone around with the God images. That's what all the cults and the religions and everything are.